This is the last day of 2008, but there's no time to celebrate New Year because violence has returned to Gaza. There was a ceasefire between the Palestinians and Israel, and they were holding more or less, and things were steady until November 4, when 6 Palestinian fighters were killed when Israel sent its troops to Gaza early last month to destroy a tunnel it says to be used to kidnap Israel soldiers. The following day, militants fired some 40 rockets into Israel. So who began the conflict? Who broke the ceasefire agreement? According to the Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative, Mustafa said that Israel is the one that violated the ceasefire because in the last 2 months, the ceasefire broke down when Israelis were killing several Palestinians and resulting in the responses of Hamas. In other words, Hamas has not carried out an unprovoked attack throughout the period of the ceasefire. Israel did. Israel has claimed that the Palestinians are the sources of violence, but the Palestinians say that the occupation of Palestine since the war of 1967 has been and remained the root of violence between Israelis and Palestinians. Violence can be ended with the stopping of the occupation and the granting of Palestine national and human rights. Even before the violence broke out, Palestinians were suffering in Gaza because Israel continued the blockade of the Palestinian territory. Lack of access to field has led to major blackout, and access to humanitarian aid, including food, has been blocked by Israeli authorities. UN spokesperson said that the people in Gaza were not just being subjected to a physical sense of punishment, but also a mental one. They said we feed 750,000 people in Gaza. These are some of the poorest and most disadvantaged people in the Middle East. They criticized Israel's hypocrisy on human rights, stating that they are telling children in Gaza that they have to respect rights universally. But how can we tell those same children, oh, by the way, you have to respect the right of people in Israel, but they are actually stopping us from giving you food? Another problem that the Palestinians and the Hamas are claiming is that the Israel continue to be in control of the Gaza borders, the airspace, the waterway of the Gaza, and have carried out frequent raid and target assassinations since the disengagement. Since 2006, Israel has imposed a comprehensive siege on the Strip. Gazans have lived on the edge of starvation and without the most basic necessity of human life, such as cooking or heating oil and basic medication. It has caused a humanitarian catastrophe, which has only been exaggerated by the dramatic increase in Israeli military aggression. Israel claims to be pursuing peace with the peaceful Palestinians, but the ongoing massacre in Gaza Strip and throughout the entirety of the peace process, Israel has continued and even intensified the occupation of the West Bank. In 2008, settlement expansion increased by a factor of 38. A further 4,950 Palestinians were arrested, mostly from the West Bank, and checkpoints rose from 521 to 699. And since the peace talk, Israel has killed 546 Palestinians, among them 76 children. I think that the international community must condemn the violence of the Israel and the acceptance of the disproportional death that is occurring due to the attack of the Israel military. I don't think that Israel is acting in self-defense, considering that they have the largest military force in the region and the 5th largest in the world. They are the 4th largest exporter of arms and have a military-industrial complex. But this current attack is not much of a self-defense, but more of a showcasing of Israel's power and aggression. And I don't think that kind of violence should be allowed in the name or under the name of self-defense. Israel has the right to exist and to self-defend itself, but what about the right of Palestinians? to basic rights like food, water, necessity, freedom, social justice, and the right to return to the homeland without being occupied by foreign forces. What about Palestinians' right? How can you expect other people to respect your right to self-defense and your right to exist when you don't respect theirs?